What's up, everybody? Mount Vernon Kid here, coming to you again with another edition of characters and why I liked them. As you can see right here, who's this guy? This is Ted Grant, aka Wildcat, one of my favorite JSA members, along with Mr. Terrific and people like that. But yeah, a DC character this time around. Ted Grant, to me, is one of those guys that I use the term seasoned lightly, but he proves that it's not just a young man's game. He can still hang with the best of them. Ted Grant, or Wildcat, basically first appeared in, let me see if I remember, 1942 in Sensation Comics. He was created by Bill Finger and Erwin Hassan. And Wildcat was a boxer, basically. He's a boxer. He's a heavyweight boxer. He was undefeated. Nobody's beaten him. He was trained by his mentor, a guy known as, that he actually rescued, known as Soccer Smith, and he took Ted under his wing and trained him in the art of boxing. Unfortunately, what happened to Ted was he got mixed up into the seedy underworld of the mob and, betting in boxing. So what they did, his managers actually, what they did was to make sure they kept Ted winning and stuff like that, was the last fight he had, his managers were called Flint and Skinner. That was their names. What they did was put a needle in Ted's boxing gloves. It was poison, but it was only meant to weaken his opponent, not to kill him. But unfortunately, that's what happened. When Ted connected with his opponent, it killed him. So, and all the blame went to Ted. All of it. They blamed Ted. So what happened was, from there, Ted decided to get justice. So what he did was, he was inspired by the stories he's heard of Alan Scott, Green Lantern. You got to remember when this story takes place in 1940s. He donned a costume himself, basically a giant black cat, costume. I always thought he looked like a dog in some way, but that's just me. And from there, he caught Flint and Skinner. They confessed. His name was cleared. Wildcat was born. But he continued to be Wildcat after that. And then he got into the JSA later on, where he met the real person, Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, and things like that. Ted, like I said, is not just a boxer. But he is a boxer nonetheless at heart. He's known to be the greatest boxer in the DC universe. This man has trained the likes of Black Canary, and yes, even Batman. Batman learned the art of boxing under Wildcat. So for all those that think that's not true, do your research and you'll find it. It's true. But Ted's not just, he just doesn't know boxing. See, a lot of people might not know this, but he also knows a lot of skilled martial arts as well. That's what makes him such an expert hand-to-hand combatant. He knows He's a master of martial arts of Muay Thai, Hapkido, Capoeira, and if I'm not mistaken, Kava Manga. Uh, and he's not just Batman and Barbara Gordon. And Black Canary. He's trained Barbara Gordon. A little bit of Mr. Terrific as well, and other people, including some of his children, or I should say, his goddaughter and his son, Tom Bronson, who I'm gonna talk about. Uh, like many of the older JSA members, they carry a legacy, and Alan Scott has his two children, Obsidian and Jade. Well, unfortunately, uh, Ted he has children too. Uh, Ted recently found out when they rebooted the JSA, when they relaunched it. We find out that Ted had a son. Ted's son, Tom Bronson, is a metahuman that can change into basically a werecat. Basically, he basically turns into that. And Tom, unlike his father, he doesn't like to fight. He doesn't like boxing. He doesn't like that. But unfortunately, Daddy taught him how to box. Thought of, okay, it'd be good to teach you how to knuckle up. And unfortunately, Tom was like, Dad, I'm a werecat with speed, agility of a man-sized cat. Why would I need it when nobody can touch me? So basically, Ted was like, you sure about that? And they had a boxing session one time I forgot what issue of JSA, and Ted's just bouncing around and like, see, you can't touch me, and then Ted just stuck his hand out and knocked the wind out of his son. It was like, you see, like it was kind of funny. It was really funny, but he's coming along as a father. While Ted is still a member of the original JSA, Tom is a part of the JSA All-Stars that is led by Power Girl. But like I said, Wildcat is one of those characters you love. You gotta love him. He shows his war wounds, or just he's a veteran of the game. But calling him a seasoned player is kind of an insult, because this guy can go toe to toe with the best, and probably will take that best, your best, and give it to you tenfold. That's just the way I look at it. It's nothing wrong with being a little older than many of your teammates. It's just shown that he has years of experience. It's experience that gives him what is one reason why I like him so much, is that he's experienced in dealing with situations that call for someone like him instead of someone that is a lot younger and inexperienced. So that's one reason why I like him. Another reason, of course, is I am a big believer in. I love powered heroes, but I have the utmost more respect for the non-powered heroes, especially that don't use gadgets and just use the skills that brought him to the dance. And that's Ted. Ted does not carry weapons or gadgets or anything like Batman or Moon Knight, people like that. He's just bare knuckle. He got his fist taped up and he goes at it. Ted, outside of the comics, Ted has made appearances in, other cartoons and, TV. Never a movie, never a motion picture. The first time we saw Ted in TV was he made his appearance in the JLU, the Justice League Unlimited cartoon episode known as The Cat and the Canary. And this this episode showed Ted getting a little tired of being just the trainer of the Leaguers, and we see him battling in underground, like fighting. That was basically roulette. She was taking care of that. And the fight that I loved was seeing him go against Atomic Skull in that fight, and he whooped the hell out of Atomic Skull. But it was great. That was a good episode. And then when he just beat the shit out of Green Arrow, it was like, oh my god, it was almost, to me, it was like, yo, Ollie, stay down, just stay down. You're not gonna beat him. I thought that was really good. From there, he would make his other animated debut in many appearances in Batman: The Brave and the Bold, and he was voiced by former military drill sergeant R. Lee Ermey. And he gave Wildcat this really rugged and gritty, and you can see like this guy's a veteran. And there are a lot of funny scenes with him in there. One of my favorite episodes with Wildcat was where Wildcat came to Batman because Batman needed help with Bane, and Wildcat's looking at Bane pre Venom, so he's kind of smaller, and he's like, I'm disappointed in you, Bats. This 90-pound weight, I don't know if I should hit him or give him a protein shake. And Batman's like, Wildcat. It was like, what's the matter, Bats? Not all that gadget, you can't take down this guy. And he's like, Wildcat. And Wildcat turned around, and Bane's all big and muscular. And then the look on Wildcat's face sold it. I was just like, oh, that was so funny. So that was good. Wildcat did make a kind of a semi-appearance in Smallville during the season 9. Of course, probably the most famous episode, The Absolute Justice. And we saw him out of costume, and he was framed, and then we also see his costume in we see it displayed in the Justice Society, like Hall of Justice or so. But that was it. So other than that, those are the only appearances Wildcat had made. But I would love to see Wildcat make an appearance, a more accurate live action appearance of Wildcat in costume, doing his thing. That would blow my mind away just seeing that. But what do I know? I'm just a fan, and I can only dream of that. But that's one reason why I love Wildcat. And thank you guys for listening to me rant on a little bit about the character. Stay tuned next, because I will give you another character. We'll be going back to the land of the Marvel heroes. And stay tuned, people.